Hello and welcome back. This is Candace from Candoodle, and today I am hopping along with Team Tiny for our Team Tiny spring hop, and I thought I would do a technique I haven't done in a while or showed on this channel, which is watercolor stamping. So let's get started. Today I am using this Simon Says Stamp Peony Bouquet stamp, as well as my Honeybee Sentiment Banners Lawn Fawn Happy 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 stamp, and the Simon Says Stamp Big Happy die. And I'm also going to be using some watercolor brush markers, which I am using Tombows. I have them all in this big case here. I have both the Artist Loft Michaels brand and the Tombow brand in this case, but you could use any sort of water-based markers for this technique. I also find that this tends to work best on watercolor or mixed media paper. I tend to use this one from Canson, which I really like. So I already have my stamp mounted in my MISTI, and I'm going to use my creative corners because I want this to be a little bit away from the edge so I have some room. Just the way that this stamp is, this was the easiest way to do it, and I don't have my mouse pad in there because this is a cling stamp. And so I'm just coming in with my lightest color in the center, and then my next darkest color around that, and then I'm going to do the darkest one towards the edge, and I'm just kind of slapping ink down. It looks a bit of a hot mess, but don't worry, it's going to work out, I promise, so stick with me. So once I have that nice and covered, I'm going to come in with my Distress sprayer. Now you don't want to add too much water, and I'll show you why later, so I just add a bit to start because it's easier to add more than to remove. So I like the way the top flowers were looking, but I did need a little bit more water on the bottom flowers, and as you can see now, I'm happy with how the top flowers look, so I wiped those clean with my baby wipe so they're nice and dry and they don't start to reactivate the marker that is already set on the page. And so I noticed that my bottom flowers needed a little bit more ink, so I'm just coming in and adding some of that and adding water to stamp it down. So I'm working on the flower on the left side right now. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to come in with my baby wipe and make sure it's nice and clean and dry until I move on to the one on the right hand side and just add a little bit more ink and water again until I'm happy with the result. This technique is super forgiving, which is the best part, because if it looks messy, you're just not done yet. And then I'm coming in with my lightest color again, and I'm just doing those leaves because I kind of like the way it looked ethereal, so I didn't want to add any dark colors, and then I just stamped those once and I was happy with that. But I wanted to show you the ones that I made previously, so this was my practice run from yesterday, and then this one I did the same thing but using purple, blue, and green, and this one I did the same thing but I used two different colors of pink and orange. And so when I said you don't want to use too much water, see how that one you could see it kind of bleeding through the petals? That's what happens if you use too much water, so just kind of add water as you go. So now I'm coming in and I'm just getting that glued down to my card base using my ATG and getting that all nice and lined up. Off camera, I did cut two of the shadow layer from this happy die, and this is the Simon Says Stamp Big Happy die, and I cut one of the top layers in from black cardstock that I'm going to layer on top. Now I am purposely offsetting this because I didn't want to glue it in the center. It was getting kind of lost with the busy background, so I wanted it to show more of a shadow, and then adding this additional die cut behind the shaded layer is just going to give it some lift from the card without using foam tape. So once I was happy with how that looked, I moved on to my sub-sentiment, and this is my Honeybee banners. I swear I use these on almost every card, and I'm taking the birthday from that Lawn Fawn stamp set and just stamping it down with some amalgam ink using my little template, which is just black cardstock. I just find it easier to get things set up in my MISTI that way, and once I am happy with how that looks placement-wise, I am going to glue that down to my card and add some gems to finish off the card because of course I need to. So just before the end of the video, I did want to tell you a bit more about Team Tiny. We are a group of paper crafters and we have a Facebook group. We all have smaller YouTube channels under 1,000 subscribers, and we like to do monthly hops together to kind of just try and grow our channels and things like that. Everybody in this group is wonderful, and I encourage you to check out all of their videos. If you click on the hashtag in my title or description, it will show you the list of all of them, so definitely make sure to check that out and show everybody some love. And so this is how the final card turned out. You'll have to let me know if you like it down below in the comments, or if you'd like to give this technique a try. As always, you can find me over on Instagram at Candoodle Creations, and until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye!